I click on the my screen. Jumping to the today's topic. The topic for today will be covering an overview of real-time development. So if you are learning Pega, it means that we need to understand how the real-time development works. That's the first thing that is very, very important. Post that, we will be understanding what is a branch development. Okay, why is branch development is crucial in Pega. So here about Pega, branch development is not only present in Pega, it is present in Java as well. So for each and everything, so for each and every application that is being developed by any tool, there will be a branch development, followed by rules and rule sets. We'll try to cover the first two topics for today, that is software development lifecycle, understanding software development lifecycle, followed by branch development, understanding what are the things that are important for branch development. Later, tomorrow's class, we can have discussion on rules and rule sets, creating rule set versions and importance of logging, and understanding developer actions. So let's get into it. If you can see here, this is the software development lifecycle map. To understand it very clearly, for any application that needs to be developed, it's very important for us to plan it. So the first and foremost stage for any application development is to to have a plan. Once the plan is completed, so we'll be having discussion with the stakeholders, clients, will create a planning. Once planning is done, we will do initial analysis. So what are the things that are required? So this is the step where you'll be understanding what are the things that are required. Once the planning is completed, we will analysis for the next step. So before you design application development, what you need to do, you need to have some points to your end, analyze. After you analyze, you need to go to design documentation. So you'll be documenting the things in such a way that, so let's consider the application is designed in such a way that this application is to be completed in 6 months. What are the plan that is there for the next 6 months? You will be documenting in the design part. After the documentation is completed, design part, we will be moving to the implementation stage. The fourth one is the important part where we will be developing the application. The fourth stage is development of an application. End-to-end is completed in fourth stage. Third stage is where you have documented all the things that are required for the implementation part. Once the implementation part is completed, then we'll be going to the deployment. Once coding is completed, we'll be moving to the higher environment. Before you move it, we'll be asking the testing team to test it. We'll be developing the code at the fourth stage and moving it to the testing environment, where testing team will be testing it. After testing team confirms that it's working fine, then we will be moving to the real-time environment called production. Okay. After production, which is completed, what is the maintenance? Maintenance sense, those applications developed in the productions, there may be some times where end users reports an issue. Though we have though the testers tested it, though we have tested it, but sometimes what happens, there will be a few scenarios for which we may have missed it or the testing team have missed it, where the end users while they are using the application will reach out to us. That's called the maintenance phase. So for any application development, if we configure or understand the steps, it follows the 6 stages. The first one is the planning, where you will be planning what needs to be done for an application. The initial analysis that we can say, but not the complete analysis. The second part, analysis stage, where you will be having all the requirements, you will be gathering all the requirements that are needed. Let's understand, you have a plan, you don't know how to develop it. In the analysis phase, you will consider Pega as a platform for developing the application. And third is the design, where you will be documenting the design in such a way that you will be understanding. Let's consider this project is to be completed in 2 months. You'll be creating the documentation for the next 2 months. Implementation, you will be sharing all documentation to individual people who are developing the application, where they will be carrying out the functionality. Once the fourth stage implementation is completed, we will be moving it to the testing environment. The testing team will be testing it. Once the testing team confirms it, we'll be moving to the production environment. Though the code is moved into the production environment, we have maintenance for that application as well, where if any end user reports an issue, we'll be working on fixing that. This is how any application looks like. This is not only related to Pega, it can be any application which is developed in any tool. This is the process which you usually follow. So it's very important. You'll be asked in an interview, do you know about software development life cycle? You should tell that yes, I know software development life cycle. These are the steps and these are the stages that are present in software development life cycle, and explain them each and every step. Clear? Okay. So here comes the branch development. In Pega, what is a branch development? Here about Pega. We have branch development in any tool that you work. Okay. The naming convention may be differ. In Pega, we are calling it as branch development. In Java, we will be calling it as branch development or track development. In any other tool, they will be calling with different names. But the process will remain same. Let's consider what is a branch development in Pega. Okay, let's consider there is an application that is already available in Pega. If you want to make any enhancements, okay, let first screen is customer details which are already completed. In Pega, there is an application called banking application where you have there was a first screen which calls about the customer details. Now you want the second screen where you need to have the government ID proofs of the customer. Okay, the second screen there is requirement for you to create a second screen which will accept government proofs as a ID, the government IDs as a document in the second stage. Now, what you will be doing? So, you need to have the second stage created, right? What you will be doing, you will be creating a branch. Branch is nothing but you'll be having the foremost layer. If you can see here, this is the master branch. This is the master branch which contains all the rules of Pega and the rules which you have developed. This is the master branch which contains all the rules of Pega and all the rules which you have developed. Now, you must not disturb this code. This code is working fine. You should not disturb this code. Now, what you need to do, you need to create a branch. So, what you will be doing it, you will be creating a branch here. It means that you will have a substage here. This is the sub part which will be created where you can have your code here. Whatever the code that you develop, can use the rules which are already there in the master branch. You're not directly deploying the code into this master branch. First, you need to create a branch that will have all the access to this master branch. In this create branch, in a small branch which you can see here, you can have all your rules here, develop it, test it. Once it is done, whether if it is working fine, then you will be moving it to the main master branch. Why branching is important? Because it's a master branch, this application is already working fine. There is no issue with the master branch. Now, if you create any tool in the master branch without having it tested, what happens? There are chances that can raise to discrepancies. In order to avoid that, while you work on any rule in Pega, it's very important for you to create a branch, work on all those rules, test it, and if it is working fine, then only move it to the master branch. Okay. If you can see here, I will give an example here. If you can see, this is the main application. Let's consider main application is the banking application. This banking application is worked by team A, and this banking application is also worked by team B. So both teams are working on this main application. Here, this picture which shows the parallel development. Branching will not only avoid discrepancies, but also helps in parallel development. So first consider this main application should have four screens. I want four screens to be available for the next sprint. By Friday, let's consider today's Monday. By Friday, I want the first four screens to be created. My requirement is to have the first four screens of an application to be created by Friday. So what you will be doing it, I want the four screens to be developed by individual persons. I am having two teams, team A and team B. The first screen is developed by team A branch 1. The second screen will be developed by team A branch 2. The third screen will be developed by team B branch 1. The fourth screen will be developed by team B branch 2. If you can consider this one, you are providing, it's not like you are not working on single screen. You are dividing works to individuals so that each and every individual can work on the individual items and all this code can be moved on Friday. By Friday, once the testing is done by each and every individual, you'll be moving the code to the main application. Here you can see we are developing the application parallel. This will avoid discrepancies. Along with that, this will help to have a parallel development. This will save time for sure. I'm recalling it again. So let's consider if you are having four screens that you should develop on Friday, we can divide the tasks among different teams. The first screen will be developed by branch A, team A branch 1. The second team will be developing second screen. Team B branch 1 develop the third screen. Team B branch 2 develop the fourth screen. All these screens once developed, they will be testing it and they will be moving it to the main application. That's how the branching helps or plays a crucial role in Pega. If you consider the next screen, I will show you how we need to create a branch in Pega, how we will be deploying into the new versions. Okay. If you have any doubts, please let me know before we jump to the creation of branch. Okay. Let me jump to the Pega environment. Yesterday we have created an application for OBC Fast Map. Okay, this is the OBC map which we have created it. Now what we need to do, we need to understand what is the branch, how we develop the branch. If you can see the OBC application, we have already have a few items that got created. These are the rule sets and these are the versions that are already created in Pega. Now, in order to understand branch development, we can create a branch. First and foremost thing is to create a branch. How we will be creating a branch? It's very simple. Just go to App Explorer, go to branches here. You can just right click on this one. You have an option to create branch. First, let's create a branch. And it's giving OBC test. OBC test as branch name. We can see we got branch created. This is the branch which got created. Now, whatever application development that you create, that should be created in this branch itself. Instead of you creating the rule directly into the main rule set, it's not recommended for us to directly create the rule in main rule set because this that will definitely cause a discrepancy if the code is not working as expected. It's very important for us to follow the software development life cycle. First, we will be developing it. In the implementation stage, what we need to do, we need to create a branch where we need to have all the code that we're developing in that branch. After the branch quality check is done, after code review is done, after the testing is done, then only we will be moving into the rule sets. Let me create one thing. Wait one thing. These are the rules which I will be explaining in tomorrow's class. For branch development, let's create a simple rule. It can be any rule. I will be explaining you the rule later part. I'll just create one window for now. If we go here, we have been just creating a window for testing for understanding the branch. Whenever we create any, this is the create create page where you can see it will ask for the label name. This is not only for this rule. Whatever the rule that you create in Pega, this is how the create page looks like. It will ask for label where you need to provide the label name. I'm just creating a window for testing of branch, right? Testing branch. Identify this unique identifier. This will be unique for any rule that you create. Unique identifier. This identifier cannot be same for same rule, different rules. Okay. Unique identifier is unique for each and every rule that you create in Pega. Now we can see have this development branch OBC test. This is how we need to select it. If you're not having any branch created, this will show you option no branch. As you have already created the branch, select the branch from the dropdown as OBC test. Let's to class and add to rule sets. We can see rule sets. We are having this many rule sets. We are having 4 rule sets in this application. You can set any rule set of your type. This will depending upon your application requirement. You will be creating that rule, which we will be learning in tomorrow's class. For now, just understand. Let's keep this applies to as it is for the Pega which has already provided to us, and the rule set as OBC rule app. I'm just creating it. Let's configure something here. Go to Advanced tab. When we are having a separate lecture, okay, we're having a separate lecture on each and every rule. So don't worry. This is just for understanding what is a branch that for any development, the rich developments which you are going to do, I will be asking you to create first the branch. After you creating the branch, then only you need to work on the development, which is the usual activity that is carried out in any application development that you're into. If you go to any project, You'll be first creating a branch before you start any development. So that's the reason why the main focus of this class is to create a branch, understand how to create a branch. Later, what the rule that we create, we'll be creating it in branches and deploying to code to the environment. What I'm just giving, I'm just selecting the value which is present here. Just giving py label as value. Py label, we have different properties which Pega already provides to us. Regarding OOTP properties also, we will be learning it going forward. For now, just understand I created a win rule in order to have a clear understanding of branch. Now we can see we are having, we have justifications here. These are the justifications which we need to provide before we deploy the code. You can see this maintainability warning. You can even for now. You can see this branches, this code is developed in this branch. If you can go here, open your branch, go to App Explorer, open your branch, just refresh this one. You can see the branch, the root that you have developed is present in this branch. Similarly, whatever the rules that you develop for that sprint, you will be creating the branch and having all those rules in this branch itself. So let's consider I'm working on the first sprint where I need to create a web rule. I have created it in my branch. Now what I will be doing it, now I need to ask someone to review it. My coding part is done. Before I deploy this code into the environment, there is I'm working under a team lead. Now what I will do, I will ask that person to review it. It's very important. You need to make sure that you need to review it with your team lead. You have this option called create review. You just need to click on the create review. It will pop up. It will ask the user ID. You need to provide the user ID of your team lead. Now I don't have. I mean, just giving this one now. I have just make the one that is having my name only. Which creating this person needs to review it. This will be assigned to that person. He needs to open this review icon. So whenever he logs in, he'll go to the branch, he'll be getting a notification where he need to review it. Now what happened? I've asked my team lead to review this code. What he will be doing, he'll be clicking on this review. He'll be going through each and every rule check created. And if he feels that have followed the best practices and created it, he'll add a comment saying that review is done. If review is done, if it's good, then he will post this one. If review is not done perfectly, there is some changes which the person wants to do. He can add a comment here saying that the four rules are working fine. There is not you have followed the best practices. For this when rule, you need to follow this approach. You can add this comment. For now, I'm not posting any comment. You can click. So review is done. I feel that every rule is perfect. Now what I'm doing, I'm just clicking actions and I'm closing this review. Okay. It means that you have reviewed all the code and you feel that it's working fine. Now go back to the branch. Just refresh here. You can see it means that you are asking your code reviewer. Code reviewer is someone who is your head. You'll be asking him to review this. He will be reviewing it. After the review is done, we need to deploy the code. Okay, before we deploy the code, it's also very important for us to check the branch quality. We have this option called branch quality. Why branch quality is important? Because the quality of code is dependent. The quality of code helps in the performance. If you are not following the quality, then the chance of application performance will be very high. The reduction in the performance will be very high. It's very recommended for us to have the weighted score greater than 90 if you are not using activity. In an activity is separate rule, which we'll be learning it. Activities are something when you use an activity, the weighting score will be less than 80, less than 70 also. Sometimes you can get an exception, but if you're not using activity and if you're using any other rule, it's very important for us to maintain the Gordon score greater than 90. That's how the branch quality looks like. You can see the branch quality is 100% and the code review is also done. It means that I'm ready to deploy this code. So what you will do, you need to move this code. If you can go to your rule set, application definition, I need to deploy this code here. Now we can see this is the rule set 010101. I don't want the rule set I've created a new version. I want the code which I've developed into the new version, not here. What you need to do, we have two ways. The first way you can get it from here. This is the one which is already there. This is how whenever application is created, it got created 9 rules. Now my requirement for the first sprint, for each and every sprint, I will be implementing the my patch version. This is the major version, this is the minor version, and this is the patch version. For each and every sprint, usually what we will be doing it, for each and every sprint, we will be having a new patch version created. Okay, and you can create directly from here. We go here, go to actions. Branch quality check is done. Code review is done. Now we are ready to move the code. Click on merge. Merge in the sense you are merging the branch code to the main code. You can see here what we have done. We have master branch. This is the master branch is something which is the main code. Now we have created the branch. We have committed the changes. Every change is done. We have asked for the code review. We got the feedback from code reviewer person. Then we have tested the changes. Everything is working fine. The branch code is also good. The final step that we need to do is to merge. So merging is something which we need to do now. If all these checks are completed and if everything is 100% assurance, you got the 100% clearance from branch quality, the code review is also done. If everything after testing also it is working fine, then only you'll be merging code. Now the final step that will is to merge the code, which we'll be doing it now. Go back to this environment, click merge. When I click on merge, you can say you want to merge this branch, right? Just proceed with this branch. You can see this is the branch name. This is the target rule set which we are moving it to. You can see it's asking for new version. Create new version, or you want to do you want this code to move to this version, or you want to create new version. As mentioned, for each and every sprint, the application team will follow create a new patch version. The new patch version is something which we'll be creating it directly. You can go here. You can go directly here. You can go here and create the new version by using this plus remote. Or you can directly create it from the merge branch. I'm creating new version from here. I want this code to move to this version. You need to enter password. Okay. I'll try to merge it. Okay. You can see no conflicts or warnings. What is this no conflicts or warnings? Let's consider the rule that you are deploying. You have this testing branch. If the same rule is being worked by some other person, if the same rule is worked by some other person, it says that there are some conflicts which we'll be covering for sure after 2 or 3 classes when we have the code. The conflicts part I will be explaining you after 2 or 3 classes. For now, just understand if the same rule is developed by the same individual. When you try to deploy the code, it says that this rule is already developed by other person. Make sure that you're not having any conflicts. Any conflicts in the sense you are already developing some application. Let's consider Meghana is completing first part of the screen. She already used some code. Now I'm also working on the same rule from my end. So if I try to deploy the code in the same rule that Meghna is using, it will show me a conflict saying that this is already being developed by Meghna. If she makes some changes, and if I'm making the same changes, if I try to deploy the same code, there are discrepancies which it will definitely create. Therefore, now just understand if the same rule is being developed by same different individuals, while you try to deploy it, it will show the conflicts. For now, this is not developed by anyone. I'm the one who is developing this one. I'm not having any conflicts. I'll create new version. I'm giving password as rules. I'm clicking merge. Now it will pick up the rule that is there in that branch. I'm moving that.
Checkbox is there, right?
Yeah, yeah. Okay, this one. I'll tell you. This checkbox keep all sources after merge. It means that even after the merge, do you want the tools present in that branch? Is something it will ask you. Our requirement is that once the merging is done, we don't want that. If you go here, you can see this is the rule which is already there. If you have selected that option, if you select that option, after merging also that tool will be present in this branch. I didn't select that option. You can see this merging is done. Okay. If you go here, as I didn't select the checkbox, if you refresh here, this will be no longer present. If you are selecting the checkbox, even after the merging also, The rule that you have merged will be available here. As a best practice, it's really important for us to not check that box. As it's already moving that code into the highest version, why we need rules? It's not required. So we'll be not selecting it. Now just go back to application. Let's refresh it here. Now you can see 010102 got created in this one. You got it right? That's the importance of branch. It's very important for you to create a branch first before you develop the code into the master code. You'll be creating a branch. You'll be working on all the rules that are very important for you to perform for that sprint. After that one, you will be checking the branch quality. You'll be testing it. Once everything is done, you will be asking the code reviewer person to code review it. He is the lead of your person. Who is your lead? After he reviews the code, after he approves it, then only he'll be deploying it. Usually, what happens for deploying the code also, it will ask for password, which will be not having it. So merging part also, the leads or managers will be taking care of merging because they'll be not sharing those passwords to anyone. That's how the software development life cycle will happen once you go into a project. Am I clear? This is very, very important. So whenever if I assign any task to you going forward, I will ask you to create a branch. You need to create a branch. You need to develop the code in your branch. You need to ask me to review me. I will review it and I will check the branch quality. If I see the branch quality is more, if you have followed all the godly Pega best practices, and if I feel the branch quality is perfect, then only I will asking you to deploy the code. Deploy the code in the sense you will be deploying into the highest version. Now you can see we are having locks. Usually we need to lock every rule set. We need to lock every rule set. What happens if if the lock is not required? If I open this rule, you can see you don't have an option. If I open this rule, just open this rule, you can see you don't have an option to check in or check out. Check out to branch having. If I open any rule which is not there, which is not locked, this is if I open this one, you can see you have an option to directly save it. This is the data layer on it. We need this one. You can see you have an option directly to modify this one, which should not be the case. Okay, you should not put the versions which are already there, the lower versions. As you're in 010110, if you are in if you are in 010102, it means that the lower versions no one should edit it. No one should edit it. We should not give that privilege to anyone to edit the lower rule sets. It's very important for us to lock that so that no one can edit it. That's the reason why this password will also not be shared to anyone. This password will be with your manager. They will not show. They will not give the password for this rule. So that it's because any person can edit it. That's not the point. No one should edit it. We go here. I just refresh this one. You can see this is locked. So it's really important for you to have a lock acquired on the rule sets which are already deployed. We should not unlock it. If you want to modify this rule, now here comes the picture. I will tell you what I want to do. Now you can see this is how the testing is completed. P label is value. But what happens? I have moved the code to the testing environment SIT, where they have mentioned the testing team mentioned it's working fine. Now I have moved into development. Now what happened? The clients reported saying that label value should not label, it should not have value. I want that value. It should not be value. I want with some other name. So what you need to do? You need to create. So this is how the process looks. You got a bug saying that PY label should not have value. It should be value list. Let's assume that there is a requirement to change the PY label to value list. Now we got a bug. Now what you will be doing it? You need to follow the same process. Same process. You got a bug. What you need to do? You got a Jira story assigned saying that you got a bug. What you need to do? Just create a branch. You will tell that bug member. Let bug member is 321. Let's bug. You got a bug assigned to your name. I'm giving bug. You can give bug as. You got bug assigned to you. This is for Modify. You need to provide every detail here. Okay. Now this got created. Now what you need to do? This should be multi-value. Save as this one. You'll be saving as this one into your batch. Bug 01. Okay. And everything will remain same. Just create an open. What is the field should get assigned to you? They're asking you to change the people label value list as per the documentation that you receive from your business analyst. You'll be saving it, you'll be checking it. Checking check out we will bring it in later classes. For now, let's understand the bully branch. Okay. Updated. You need to provide the chicken check out comments every time. This is something as a developer you need to do. This will this will make someone less concerned. You have moved from this. You have developed the code. You're on leave. There is someone who wants to work on this rule. He don't know what happened in that rule. He need to review. He can have the option. Whenever you check out and check in, each and everything will be stored in the history where he can go and access it. So I'm making modification saying that I'm updating value to value. I'm just checking in this one. This is the what's the next step that we need to tell? No, go to here. It's better to choose all these tabs. But have many tabs. If you use one tab, if you feel that is useful, just have only that tab. Go back here. To about 0. Now you can see this one. We have understood it should be values. I have modified it. What is the next step that we need to do? Same. You'll be testing it, testing part. Thing testing is completed. Value to value list. You'll be testing if there's any testing that needs to be done. Then we'll be checking the branch quality also. The branch quality is 100%. That's very good. We'll be asking to review it. We'll be asking the user of your application, read, review it. Welcome and open this review comments. Before saying that review is done, go to reply. Anything, any comment of his choice. Now you can go use review. The person close the review. After review is done, back here, just refresh it. You can see this review is done. If you want, if you consider the review, what happened if even if the review, if after review is done, if that is not closed, you can have the comments here. What happened? You can check comments. He will add, he'll post the comments. You can check the comments here. Now he stated that review is done. What we need to do next step? Merge the code. Yeah.
Can you show without merging? Can you show in that one
Wait
how
here.
to do in the? You told right we want to click that symbol and we want to create.
Right. I'll do it. That's great. Okay. Sure. Now go here. Go back. Now what happened? Then we get to the next frame. I just lock this one. I don't want this two. This is already locked. Now create this one. It's better. So you can see I'm creating the new version from here, not from the branch itself. Creating it from here. Now what you need to do? This is having 010103. Correct? Just save it. Here the last back is what you can do. Sprint. So you can mention sprint. Sprint 03. You can there's a description which you can have. You can have a description here. This will give a clear understanding, right? 010103. Whatever the rules that are there in 010103, that is related to sprint 3. Let's consider what happens. Let's consider. I will talk about this one once we merge the code. I will talk about this after we merge the code. Go back. Go back here. This is go click on actions. Click on merge. Merging this code. You don't want to create new version, just go and select this 010103. You can see this for sprint 3. Lock after merge. Do you want to lock after merge? It's your choice. I'm clicking it for now. And I'm not selecting this. If you select this one, I'll show this one also. Keep all sources and rule sets after merge. It will keep all the sources and rule sets in the branch itself. Just clicking merge here. This merging is done. You can close it here. Now what happens? This will be available here even after the merge. If you refresh it one, this will be available here because we didn't select, we didn't check the option. Now we go here as this as we didn't select the lock. lock after the merge. We didn't select it, so it will block it. Go here, refresh. It is not locked. Why the description, specifying description like this very important. Let's consider you have completed 50 sprints. Okay, 50 sprints are completed. So maintenance report an issue saying that this is the issue. You will be going to the tasks which are already developed. You'll understand a chart. The part of development that is done on sprint 3 is causing some issue. You need to have the sprint 3 code. Instead of you going and finding the rule where exactly it is, you can just go to your application definition. As understood that the issue that the end user is reported is taken from sprint 3. You'll be going here, you'll be understanding all those rules that got deployed, and you will be replicating the issue which here reported to you. You will be finding the root cause. That's how specifying the description is very important. Clear? Any doubts? Okay. So this is about branch development. I'm telling you again, branch development is very crucial for any Pega application. It's not for Pega application, it can be any tool that is developing an application. It's very important for us to follow the software development lifecycle design. The implementation part where you will be developing the branch. In that branch, you will be developing all the rules that are required for the current sprint. You'll be working on it. The first thing is to develop the code that is required for that sprint. Next, you need to check the branch quality and testing is to be done by your end. After that is done, you need to ask your code reviewer team member to review it. If all these four checks are done, then only we are going to deploy the code. Okay, clear? Any doubts?
Yes.
Okay. So I will do one thing. We are clear, right? So before we understand rules and rule types, this is something which we'll be learning it tomorrow. But I will be, as you're having few time, as you're having some time left, I will show you one website. It can be any website. You just go and any website from your end. I will be very careful for now. Let's understand this application because we are into as a development application tomorrow. It's very important for us to have application has which already developed. You can see, let's consider if you want to develop an application, it can be any application. It's very important. You know what we are doing. We are creating rules and usage. What is the rule? What's the importance of rule? In order to understand that, if you can open any application, let's consider APF. If you can see whatever the thing that is displayed here, employees providence. Okay. This UI is displayed in red color, right? If you click on these colors, the picture that you see here, all the UI that you see with different colors form falls under skill oriented. If you are creating any application in Pega, if you want that label names in different colors, if you want that UI in different formats, in coloring something, how the screen you want to that comes under coloring falls under skill oriented. And if you can see here, you have this login page. What is the login page? We maybe employees services for employees. Over here, we're having different services. We have member passbook. So you can see this member passbook, member UN login. You are having different services. If you want to create services like this in Pega, we are having an option called menu. Menu contains this is the first thing that we should have in a menu. If you keep the services as main tab, all the things that they under the services first in the menu. Okay, we'll be covering the menu in the future classes. We're just understanding the other applications already developed. This is not developed in Pega, but if this was developed in Pega, I'm just rephrasing you. If this was developed in Pega, what are the functionalities that have been configured? If this was developed in Pega, if you go enter into member passbook, it will ask you for login page. You can see this is a login page, which looks like for any login, for every login, either it can be any login, either it may be Pega, it can be Salesforce, it can be .NET, it can be Java. For each and every credentials, they will be storing it in a separate database. Okay, in Pega, we will be storing it in Pega database. In some other application, will be storing it in some other database. What happens whenever you log in with your UN? If you are providing correct UN and password and provide the right captcha, then only you will be entering into the application. What is the reason? What if we enter the incorrect details? It throws an error saying that you have provided invalid credentials. What it will do? It will check the database. It will check the URL number. This URL number and for this password, this user have any account. It will first fetch the database, and if it returns true, then only you will be entering into the application. Okay. If it returns as false, then it means that you're not having an account, either you're not having an account, or you have provided wrong credentials. That's the reason why it's using an error message saying that you have provided wrong credentials. That's how this logic can be implemented in Pega. We'll be doing it for sure. Just understand the importance of the applications created. So what the testing team will do, I have mentioned that I have created a login page as part of the software development lifecycle. If you go here, as part of the software development lifecycle, I've done the implementation part for login screen. Now I'll ask the testing to test it. You will tell them that first you will tell them that for this user, these are the credentials. You will be providing 5 to 6 users, username, password. The testing team, what they will be doing it at the first check, they will try to enter the username and password for each and every individual. And if they try to enter it, the first check is done. Now what they will be doing it, we'll be having the test cases. The first test case is completed. Now what will be the second test case? They will be entering the username with different password. It should not enter into the application screen. These are different test cases that they will be doing it. So there will be different test cases which system team will be checking it. Once all the test cases are completed, and if they feel that 100% test case are completed and it's working fine, then only we'll be deploying the code into the higher environment. This is how software development lifecycle works for each and every application. It can be any application. If you log in with any application, they will be following some practices in implementation layer. Then they will be doing the testing. Then only you can see this is the production environment. What are the access that I'm accessing here? This comes under the production environment. And then what happens? This production environment, sometimes there is a issue which got triggered. You're working on it, you're logging into it. You feel that something is not working as expected. Okay, something is not working as expected. You will be doing it. Either you will be reaching it to the top field, or you will be drafting a mail to them. What happens? Whatever the issue that you have sent to the team, we'll be having a maintenance team. This is how the maintenance come into picture. Maintenance team is the support team. What they will be doing it, once there is an issue that got triggered from the end users saying that this is the issue which is not working as expected. What this maintenance team will do, they will have all the details to the user. They will try to replicate the scenario in the production. And if they feel that the issue is replicated, if they feel that whatever the issue that end user reported is not expected, then they will be asked again. Then it will be coming to the implementation stage, where we'll be creating the user story as a bug. We'll be developing the code. We'll be again it go to the testing. Again the testing will be done. Then it will be merged and then it will deploy to the higher environment. Clear? Okay, that's it for today's class. I just want you to go through any one of the application website that is already there, which is already in production. Understand how it is configured. Learn about how we can configure it in Pega. Understand how it is working. If you're clicking on the screen, how it is going, how it is navigating to the screen, how the pop-up is getting up. If you're providing invalid credentials, how you're getting how it is showing an error saying that it's invalid, how the validation is done. Okay. Each and everything that you are seeing on that application, we can configure that rules in Pega. That's the reason why I'm showing, I'm explaining you to go through the any other environment which is already there in production. You can open any website so that for tomorrow's class, we'll be understanding rules and a rule set. What is a rule? What are the different types of rule? How to create a rule? If you can understand, we have created a simple rule. Many of you don't know what's a rule. Okay, even if you many of you don't know what's a rule, I just created one rule for showing the branch. But in later classes, I will be explaining you what is a vendor, what is the importance of vendor, where we will be configuring the vendor. So each and every rule, if you just click on this app explorer, go to records. These are all the rules which we'll be covering it in the next classes. Application definition we have covered it. We'll be covering the data model, decisions, integrations, organization, everything we'll be covering it. These are all the rules which we'll cover in the next sessions. Okay. Any doubts? Consider it as no, I'm just stopping the recording.